Hi, I'm Norm Orlesky, president of Onstage Publications, and during this webinar, we want to introduce you to our just released community version of Audience Access, our highly acclaimed digital program. If you choose to use the free community version of Audience Access, you will be able to build your own digital programs, create a safe patron environment, and eliminate the high cost of printed programs. Before we get into our webinar, let me tell you a little bit about Onstage. For over 20 years, Onstage Publications has provided traditional printed programs for over 110 arts organizations nationwide. And as a publisher of program books, we provided everything that is required to get the programs into your patrons' hands the night of the performance. That includes the sale of all advertising, billing and collections, layout and design, printing and delivery. We took that hard-won expertise and now provide it in a digital program book. We invested in the technology to provide a companion digital program for every one of our clients over 7 years ago. And with the pandemic, as they say, the rest is history. We now have one of the most sought-after digital program books in the world. And now with the introduction of our community version, it is absolutely free forever. Let me introduce Jeff McPherson, our Director of IT, and why this is truly the simplest digital program book you'll ever use.
Hi, my name is Jeff McPherson. I'm one of the programmers here at Onstage that worked on the dashboard of Audience Access, and I want to talk a little bit about the back end and how it makes building a digital program a very straightforward and simple process. And we did it in a bunch of different ways, but I want to talk about three in particular. The first one is, where do you start? Well, we thought about that, and the most basic information that you'll have is the show name. So once you have that show name, everything will branch off of that. So think about it as your table of contents. You build, what you need, whether it be donor lists and all the things based off that show. The system will walk you through the process of building a great digital program based upon the event itself. We also put a lot of work in the editor. This is where you build all your stuff and place all the text that you're going to be using. And the challenge is that you get stuff from all over the place. You get it from PDF documents, maybe an old InDesign file, emails from cast, things of that nature, and they have umlauts and bolds and italics and tables. You can cut and paste those right into the editor itself, and it keeps all that formatting, which really speeds up the process. So we're very proud of the efforts that we put into the editor, and we're continuing to make those on a daily basis. And then finally, I want to talk a little bit about some of the terminology. Some of the other software that we looked at are very generic. So they use very technical or very generic terms like components or cards or tags. And the problem with that is that it's not geared toward the performing arts industry at all. So what we've done is we've used the same terms, but we've renamed them for what they are. So we call things events, or title pages, or bios, or sponsors. And that should make more sense. It really speeds up the learning curve, and you'll be much more comfortable when you start building that digital program book. I think Lynn's going to talk a little bit about engagement, using Audience Access for the engagement process for your patrons when they're at the show. Lynn, you want to take it from here?
Unlike a printed program or PDF on your website, or even a flip page turn like Issue, the opportunity now to engage with your patrons has never been easier. The best time to engage with those patrons is before the show, during intermission, and after the performance is held. So just picture this. Your audience members are in their seats, they're relaxing, they're enjoying getting ready for the show, and they just can't wait. They're so excited to be there. They're in the moment, and they're having fun perusing the program notes on their phone. They're reading about the artist, the great content, and they're reading also about your future performances. You can now promote and sell tickets to your upcoming events right inside your digital program. It's ever so simple now for your patron to just tap on the link to the event and purchase tickets right then and there while it's still fresh on their mind. Sponsor engagement. Your sponsors are vital to the success of your organization, and their ads need to be stunning. They need to be eye-catching. Now they can be animated too. Their message can really capture the attention of your audience member. A simple tap on their ad can take your patron to the sponsor's website, a YouTube video, social media, or a special offer. You can also provide those sponsors with the ad report. It's a great report full of information and a really important tool that's included with the platform. So it's packed with information your sponsor is going to find very, very helpful to measure the success of their ad. I think they'll really like it. Donations are vital to your organization, of course, and we want to make it easy. So now your patrons can easily make donations right through your digital program, taking them right to the donation page on your website, just tapping that link and making that donation really, really easy. Also, many organizations have benefited from setting up what's called like a micro donation. These are small donations, $5, $10, $20, but they add up really fast. And in many cases, these smaller donations can come from your audience members that maybe in the past they were unable to donate, but they're really feeling comfortable with that smaller amount. Again, we've seen great success over the weekend using these micro donations, thousands of dollars that were kind of unexpected. It's a great tool. Patrons can engage after the show, long after the show, and this is really important. Your past events will always be saved in your digital program. Now your patrons can even share information with their friends and family simply by forwarding that link to them. An example could be, hey Dave, I know you were talking about taking your family to see Wizard of Oz. Here's the link so you can buy tickets right now before it's sold out. It's never been simpler. Tracy Million is our head of production here at OnStage. She's going to share some great steps to deliver your beautiful digital program.
So let's go over audience access and the digital program itself and how you build it and how you deliver it. So the first thing you want to do when you start using audience access is start thinking, bring over your logos and bring over your color theme that you use on your website and other marketing materials. And you can integrate all of these things right inside of audience access itself. Also, you have the entire Google font library at your fingertips. So the font that you love, you can find either that font or an equivalent out on the Google Fonts, and you can integrate that right into the digital program book also. The creation of the digital program itself, you just start with the event, and you treat it just like you would for your printed program book. So you have your standard stuff in there, things like your bios, your notes, your donor lists, and sponsors, and things like that. But also think about things that you could never do before because it was cost prohibitive. We have a lot of folks now that are using their educational materials that was on a website somewhere that nobody ever accessed. They're getting a lot more traction on those things. So if you have something like that, it's a great method to get those things out there also. And also what we're seeing is small donations of $3, $5, $10 donations. And we get thousands of dollars a weekend for organizations using that feature of audience access. And it's a great way for additional revenue that they never had before, especially now coming back from COVID and all that other good stuff. And then the delivery of that program itself. So since this is just a regular web page, you can use a QR code that points to a URL. It's a great way. You can put that little QR code on easels, on the back of cards, so on and so on, and people can scan that and get the digital program right at their fingertips. If you're thinking about using one of the paid version of Audience Access, that comes with texting, and that's another great delivery method that you'll have if you decide to go in that route. I hope that makes sense and hope it kind of opened your eyes about some of the stuff that we thought about with audience access. Good luck.
Just because the community version for audience access is free doesn't mean you won't be able to feature your advertisers. You most certainly can. Think about your printed program in the past, except now your program is on steroids. Now, because you've eliminated the cost of print or you've cut way back, just imagine the money your organization can make selling ads to local businesses, and all without having to pay for those expensive printed programs. Your ad revenue can be, and it should be, a continuous stream of income for your arts organization. Businesses will be even more excited to engage because their ad can be animated. It makes a stunning statement, and their message can link back to a website, social media, even a YouTube video. Businesses will also appreciate the flexibility now available. They'll be able to change their ad throughout the season if they wish. And there's also a variety of attractive options to choose from regarding their ad placement. Now, also, unlike print, ads are trackable, and this is huge. With the additional reports that are built right into the platform, you can easily provide the number of impressions and the page views to all of your sponsors and your advertisers. The ad report is a very impressive and valuable tool. I think you'll really love it. Businesses will quickly renew for the next season with confidence, and many businesses may even opt to purchase additional ad space throughout the season. All of this adds up to increasing the ad revenue, again, for your arts organization. So now you're thinking about your past loyal advertisers, which is great. They'll definitely be on board. Now, let's talk about those new opportunities. Think about the local businesses that maybe didn't sign up in the past. Maybe it wasn't a feasible financial decision for them to advertise for a full season. Whatever the reason is, now it's perfect for them to come on board and purchase ad space for several events, and you have that flexibility to offer. Imagine that brand new business that just opened up. Being front and center of your patrons is part of their business plan. Now they don't have to wait till next year. They can jump right in. And remember, because it's digital, you can now offer businesses the opportunity to advertise in your programs several days before the event, not several weeks or several months as in the past with your printed program. All of these flexible options add to an increased ad revenue for your arts organization. With the community version, we've also included some great tools to help you along the way. These are tools that we've created and consolidated over the past 20 years or so as a national publisher for the performing arts, and we're really happy to share our expertise with you. What you'll see here are some email templates, sales aids, a media kit, ad specs. You'll also find a customizable press release to let your patrons know about your beautiful new digital program. Last but not least, there's a touchless program icon that we've designed, and you'll want to be sure to share this feature on your website, social media, and such. All of this is located in your workspace under the ad sales department. Be sure to check it out.
So one of the things about using Audience Access is your ability to track usage. In the past, with a printed program, you would print 1,000, you would pass out 942, but then you didn't know anything else about the usage of that program book particularly. With Audience Access, you can track that usage. So when you create your digital program, you have the ability inside of Audience Access to see usage. So you'll know that 742 people visited this page, 497 people visited this other page, and you'll be able to act upon that information. One of the most beautiful things about Audience Access is you can integrate any Google Analytics code that you have also. And this will allow you to connect the pieces. So if somebody comes to the digital program and they visit your ticketing system, you'll know that. If they go to your website and they visit the digital program, you'll know that. You'll know that they looked at an ad or a sponsor ad particularly. You'll know that they looked at the donor lists. You know that they were interested in buying tickets or making a donation or volunteering or looking at your educational material. And you'll know that information. You can act upon that. So it's a very powerful tool. And just by plugging in your Google Analytics code, you have all those tools at your fingertips. Hope this helps.
Finally, a thought about why our community version is free forever. Well, if you've ever networked on LinkedIn, shared files through Dropbox, watched TV shows through Hulu, you've experienced our model firsthand. Users get basic features to build a robust, stunning program at no cost and can access richer functionality for a subscription fee. For many arts organizations, it's all they'll ever need. And remember, Audience Access is mobile ready with no clunky apps, no downloads, no PDFs, no page turns. Find out why your peers are calling Audience Access genius. Pure genius.